So, yep, I went to jail, and it was awesome. But I'm gonna give all of you who don't know the origination of me in jail the summary. In July or August of 2014, me and a friend who was moving in with me and the girl I was dating and some other people at the time was going to get their stuff from Myrtle Creek, Oregon, south of Roseburg, and moving down to Ashland with us. And this person was a medicine man, and as in medicine, I mean pot and mushrooms and LSD and things of the sort. And on the way back, he always had his stuff with him, and moving down, he also had other kitchen blah 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 stuff, and 5.5 pounds of pot. And we got pulled over, and they searched the car, and he had a warrant for his arrest, bench warrant, like I just had. And after they put him in the back of the car and started searching, he called over one of the officers, told the officer that everything in the car was his, I had nothing to do with it, and they found everything. And the officer, it was 31 years young at the time, and oh yeah, I get to put my bare foot on grass. I love it. Yes. Okay, so actually, there we go. Why not? Yeah, my first time getting in trouble, and the officer comes up and he's like, well, you're really lucky. Your friend admitted ownership to everything, but since you have your medical marijuana card, we're going to put the pot on you, okay? Question mark. And me being nervous as hell and not knowing what to do, I'm like, whatever. Not realizing that whatever was 2 felonies with a maximum sentence of 5 years each, so 10 years total. And then, so that happened, and then I left Oregon and moved to Philly, and they threw a court date on it, and my court date was in April. And I was invited to do something with family down in Florida on their property. That was part family, part work stuff. And that interfered with my court date, so I called my public defender, whatever you want to call him, and said, hey, this is going on. Is it okay if I get an extension? If not, I will 100,000,000% be in Oregon for my court date. And that I started calling him like 3 months in advance, and each time he's like, oh yeah, this happens all the, or the first time he's like, oh yeah, this happens all the time, not a problem. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I called him like a week later, and he's like, oh hey, I forgot, it's still a go, I'll call the DA or the judge, whatever. And in the next 3 months, including me being down in Florida, and my court date was on a Monday, and come the Friday before, I call him and I'm like, hey, did you talk to the DA or the judge about me not going to be there? He's like, no, I forgot again. I'll let the judge know first thing in the morning at court, so blah, blah, blah. I don't think he did. I get a call on Monday saying, oh yeah, blah, 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 judge didn't take it, you have a bench warrant. And I'm like, okay, cool. That sucks. And then about 2 months later, I started to travel west from Philly to take care of it. And that's when I met all of my beautiful Yellow Springs, Ohio family, and my Northern Michigan family, the Bliss, the Farm, the Meadow. You guys rock. Okay, all of you rock, but you guys are all super awesome. And the Galactic Sherpas. Oh my god, if you haven't heard the Galactic Sherpas, you gotta check out their music. They're badass. They blew my mind at MetaFest. Anywho, and then Boone and Florida and the caretaking and blah, 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 blah. And so going west got me to do all that, and so on and so forth. I have my bench warrant, and I'm here, and I was, after hanging out with the Australian dude for 6 days, really cool guy. I'm sure we'll meet up again. And then I was leaving Bend, Oregon, on my way to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho to see some friends again. And then I was going to go to Missoula, Montana, because I found out there's a store that has fresh ground pistachio butter. I'm so going there after court, and I'll get into that. And so my first ride pulled over to pick me up, and she was parked 8 inches into the road, and we got pulled over. Yours truly got arrested. And from the beginning, the officer was like, he's like, because I have currently messed up teeth that will be replaced whenever. Thought I had like meth on me and stuff like that. So he's stereotyping or whatever it's called. And another officer shows up, and they are going through my backpack and all this stuff, and when he finds out that it's for pot, he starts laughing and asks if I was joking, and I'm like, no, serious, and I told him the whole story of getting pulled over, and then the other officer is like, wow, that's ridiculous. And when they put me in the back of the car, the officer that showed up second opens the door, and he said, because I told him that I was a self-empowerment coach, life coach, healer, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual healer. And he's like, wow, dude, I really appreciate what you do, and shook my hand, and it was a pleasure meeting you. And the officer who dropped me off said the same thing as like Rex or Infinity. The first officer, second officer was like, I don't care if your name's Infinity, Finn, or Rex, you're cool. Awesome meeting you, pleasure meeting you. And so I get dropped off at the jail at like 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and I just had this sense of calmness the whole time. And they put me in booking, and hold on, I'm gonna grab some water that's currently supporting the camera. Replace said water bottle with shoe. Get water. Swallow water. Continue. And so I got in there, and they had me in lockdown, which is 1 hour out of 24 hours of free time a day. And there was 2 bunks, and a guy ended up showing up like 2 hours later, and during that 2-hour period, I just was very relaxed, and I was working on slow, deep breathing. And I have a lot of friends who have been to jail. I have a cousin who's been in prison for 20-something years, and I've heard a lot of stories and seen the TV shows and how it's dark feeling, and because all these bad people and so on and so forth go there. And I just had this all is well, and I affirmed to myself all is well, and I was breathing, and I just felt amazing. And this guy showed up, and he had the top bunk, and we stayed in there for 2 days, and he literally slept like 23 hours a day. It was amazing. I don't know how he did it. And then he's like, come in here off of meth and you'll sleep that much too. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Only did meth twice, years and years and years ago. And the next day, the food is actually better than I thought. It's better than the hospital food in Florida, but the hospital food in Spokane, Washington, at Deaconess Hospital, you get to order from a menu, and they have pizza. It's amazing. Anywho, slow down, you're moving too fast. You gotta make this moment last. Just wiggle around and move it slow. Yeah, the next day, I spent the majority of the day just breathing, took a couple naps. The next day was the same thing, and both those days, I'm happy like 99% of the time now, and I normally have at least like a grin 98% of the time now. That one's catching up. And literally the whole 4 days I was in jail, I had this smile and was just ecstatic and really enjoyed being there, because I know all of this is a movie that I created for myself, and I get to feel about it how I want to and affirm about it how I want to. And then the third day, I get moved into the dorm room, and I had like 7 or 8 roommates. They call them cellmates, but roommates just seems better. And at first, none of them really said anything to me, and then we woke up, and then, or after waking up, not many said. And then we go to the rec outside area, and after 3 days, I walked outside, and I'm just like, holy fresh air. Wow, I had taken like fresh air for granted, and like grass and this. And it was just, it opened my heart so much. And there's some other guys that, all of them had 2 legs and 2 arms. And there was one guy with a lot of tattoos, mainly prison tattoos, like 26 or something. He's doing pull-ups, so I go up there and I do like 10 pull-ups, which I thought was pretty good for myself. And 10 minutes, cool. And we started making jokes and stuff and back and forth, and I started making fun of myself for having 1 leg, and they kind of started opening up to that. And by the end of the day, lunch and dinner, we're all sitting around tables. Like, when I heard one of them say that once in a while they get special commissary that was like real ketchup, like, fuck, man, real ketchup, like, the shit so many people take for granted is amazing. I mean, I have everything I need in this little backpack and stuff, and it blows people's minds how little I have, but how absolutely abundant I am, which we all are once as we open up to it. And, or just say yes and thank you. That's all we have to do. We could say, if the only thing we said was thank you, that would be it. And I came up with a quote, or a quote hit me while I was walking this way, and if it comes to me, I know I texted it to myself, but if it comes to me, I'll share it. And, yeah. Something like, when you open up, momentum happens, something. Anywho, and, we're like sharing food. Like, one person wanted extra cornbread and one person wanted this, and it was just like so humbling to like feel their appreciation. And there's one kid there, he's 21, the youngest one there, and he's led us in prayer to pray for our food each time I was there. Hello, mosquito, I saw that, which was amazing. And then that night we got in prayer circle and we all shared, or at least there's like 8 or 9 out of the 10 or 11 of us all held hands and prayed together, and it was beautiful. And then the 4th day, I mean, I woke up just like amazingly happy, emotional dreams, and wake up and I'm just like, holy shit, I am so happy to be alive. And it's like, if the judge gives, like, pretty much the whole 4 days I was thinking about, like, oh shit, they're gonna, because I was waiting, they're keeping me there until today, Tuesday, so Thursday to Tuesday, to ship me down from, right now am I in Deschutes County, Oregon, and they're going to take me back to Douglas County, Oregon, or Roseburg, Oregon. And more water. I hope all of you are having a wonderfully awesome day so far. I really do. And so yeah, today they get me up like super butt-ass early, and they get me to the waiting room and stuff like this. And I thought they're shipping me down to Douglas, and then they take the other 5 people out, and they're like, oh, hold up, Mr. Hill. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he closes the door and walks away, and the doors are kind of funny. I mean, they really sound... Holy shit! They got me! Yeah. And, about 10 minutes later, I'm standing near the door looking through the little windows, and one of the officers comes up and he's like, do you know why you're here? Or what's going on? And I'm like, intuitively, right after they shut the door, I heard my real, higher, true, whatever self you want to call it, say, they're letting you out. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I kind of like already knew, but the officer was like, oh yeah, Douglas County decided not to ship you. We're letting you out. We're just waiting to get the court date. And I'm like, huh, my real self knows. God knows. Imagine that. Go, God, go. Kick ass. And so yeah, they let me out, and I was actually, while I was in the waiting room to get out today, I was like I had made friends with the guys there, and some of them took my number, and when they get out, we're gonna hang out and stuff like that. And I told one of them, he left today as well, and he's going to prison for 2 years starting today. And we're sitting there, and he's like, yeah, man, at first I judged you. I saw you face tattoos, and then I saw one leg and kind of like, oh shit, a little bit. And after I heard you pray, it's like, brother knows what's going on. And I told him, like, yeah, I really enjoyed these 4 days, or 2 days with you guys. I mean, it's really meant a lot to me, and I've had a lot of joy from it. And it's going in my book, and you will be in my book, not by your name, but because no one's going to be there and by their name but me, for a few reasons that you'll have to wait for the book to find out. And, so awesome. So it was... I actually, like, didn't want to go. I wanted to stay in jail because I had felt out here, I felt like, I guess what they call unity consciousness or no separation for a while now. And when I went to jail, it was like I felt separation again, and I was like, wow, this is intense. Huge vibrational shifts. And with the slow breathing and the meditation and the all is well affirmation and the I am the light I am affirmation, I trust and know the consciousness of all and call forth my highest consciousness for the benefit of all affirmation. I am created in love, by love, for love, to love, thank you for being affirmation, and whatever other affirmations came to me, the we're all one separated by the only, or we're all one separated only by the conscious decision as a whole to experience contrast infinitely within this moment of now. Bam! For eternity and infinity and all that all together. And yeah, so with that, with those affirmations, I came into the feeling of unity that when I walked outside, I'm like, I'm everything and everything is me and we're all one. And holy shit, this is intense. And it was really cool. And I got out and had people wanting to send me money. And soon I decided not to activate my new cell phone, or my old phone, the new month, because I'm saving up for a new phone that I can get with a new plan with better, the whole thing is better for $288. So if any of you, I'll throw it out there. If any of you feel like you want to help me with any of that $288, that would be super awesome. I know it will work out however it does. Until then, I will use Wi-Fi, and I am A-okay with that. And so when I got out, I got money, and I found the place that I'm staying for a week, and I tipped them $20, and I've got court on the 24th, but the fact that they let me out today is, like, huge, and here's an affirmation that I absolutely love, and I feel it very, very, very deeply. Everything is already taken care of. All of it, everything, completely, totally, everything is taken care of. All you have to do is let go. You only have to make one choice, and that choice is love. So many people want choices, and I got sick of choices because I knew there could just be one choice, and from there I wouldn't have to choose anything else, and it would just bring me into like perfect alignment of exactly everything I wanted to be and what my soul's agenda, God's agenda for me being here is, without my own agenda in the way. And if I just had to make and choose that one option, and that one option is love, and everything I do in love will be perfect. I wouldn't care if they gave me the maximum penalty of 10 years, or if I get there, they just let me go with nothing. I am so grateful for every breath and the fact that I get to experience anything at all. That I don't have desire anymore. Life is the best drug there is. The only thing you've ever been looking for is yourself. I see you. I know you. I am this with you. Fucking love you. I feel so in love with life. Actually, better yet, it just hit me as I was saying that. I'm ascending in love with and in life, that every moment is perfect to the point where there's no desire. There's highest joy, and there's highest joy. And willing to do nothing and be everything and just let it happen. Let life happen. It's going to. Life happens while you're making plans. A lot of people have heard that. Everything you want is already there. And everything your soul has ever asked for in every moment is exactly what it is. You are the abundance you've been seeking. You're everything you've been seeking. You don't have to seek because you're it. God, or your higher real expanded self, already wants to give you everything. So the only thing you would have to seek is your source, which is you. And all you have to do in that is say thank you to everything and take your power back. Those are the two things we have to do. Say thank you and take our power back. And taking our power back is simply anytime you get to judgment, jealousy, discomfort, rage, anxiety, fear, doubt, desire. Even in desire, you've given your power away to something outside of you. You don't need to desire anything at all. Breath is the best gift there is, and anything after that's gravy. So anytime we feel any of those discomfort, desire, jealousy, anger, rage, frustration, acknowledge, I created this. Because you did. I created this. I created everything just like you did. I created this and I blessed it with my power, and I am so grateful that it has held my power for this long. And with that, I'm taking my power back now for the benefit of all. And I feel my expansion and my growth of all that is. When you become breathing abundance, where you can focus on your breath and everything else and nothing at all, because when you focus on nothing, you're fully focused. When you stop trying to understand, everything makes sense, and if you let go of making sense, you'll understand it all. It's all a paradox. Jail was amazing. Sitting here staring at the camera, I don't even know if I've blinked. There we go. That's it. Let go. Choose love. Bless your heart. Play a flute, something, sing, dance, play. Playing is, they say laughter is medicine, and the truth in that is so amazing, because nothing is trying to get you. Everything is trying to get out of you. So all of those tears, there's two parts of healing. We'll call it three, a trinity of healing. Cry your eyes out to everything. Joy, love, fear, anger, rage, sadness. It doesn't matter. Cry them, cry them, cry them. Because every tear you let go is like letting go of a heavy sandbag out of a hot air balloon, and you're going to float away. Enlightenment to become lighter. Say thank you to everything, which has to do with taking your power back. Appreciation and taking your power back. It's your power. Appreciate it where it is. And once as you appreciate your power that you've invested in anxiety and rage and depression and anger, because you know it served you and you take it back at that point, it's yours. And then the last thing is play. Jesus said you must be of a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. A child is a playful, loving, innocent heart. That's it. I love you. I am this with you. We are created in love, by love, for love, to love, and I thank you for being, because I couldn't do this without you, because you exist. You are worthy of existence and everything within existence. You are all that is. We are one.